Good about it?
Yeah, racket number one, I want to just make a statement. This is not a political topic. This is, if you're in real estate, like Ivy Zellman, top economist, says, you need to know the policy. You need to know the news and information in your industry better than anybody. And we're going to cover that in racket number one. Racket number two, a little Zillow, Zestimate, drama. And then racket number three, or the marketeer, I should say, is...
You're excited about it.
Oh, it's by far the best real estate reel of all time.
You love it.
All time. So stay tuned for
Wow,
that.
of all time.
Of all time. Yeah.
Wow. Even better than yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say so. I love my A-Rod one. Go follow me on Instagram.
I know that you love a lot of yours.
Yeah,
I know
I
that
do.
you're loving. I mean, I
The
get
majority of
texts.
mine are
Nicole,
pretty good.
I get the rolling ticker all day.
Yeah, not on one of them you did.
I did.
That was a great. I
still do. I feel like it keeps tickering.
You know, Jill from RE3 Media,
Yeah.
our Jill, she just had one that surpassed my 60,000 view count.
What was it on?
When she was leaking out of her nose. Yeah.
Ew, I missed that one.
She doesn't have it on her. You gotta go.
I don't want to. I don't want to look for it at all.
She was doing the Facebook stream on the radio, and we're going live on Facebook,
Yes.
and like her nose just leaked.
I'm sorry.
And she turned it into a reel. And it's got like over 70,000 views.
It leaked.
You gotta see it. You gotta see it.
Like she needed to blow her nose.
She didn't get to the tissue fast enough, and we're on the live.
Oh, so she was a little nervous. Oh
I
my
don't
God,
know.
there's so
It was
many.
crazy.
I have so many
It was crazy.
questions.
Anyways,
Yes, here we are.
all right. Racket number one: Biden's real estate tax plan. Okay, these are proposals. So these are not these. I want to be very clear on that.
Very clear.
This didn't happen last week, and it's going on now. These are proposals. They have to get passed. Okay. So we, as real estate professionals, we need to be educated on this because we're going to have questions from investors and homeowners. It affects both. Okay. So there's really two big components here that we're going to focus on. And maybe if this gains more traction or gets closer to happening, we'll dig into this even deeper on future Real Words. But right now, we're just going to give an overview of what's going on.
Whatever it is that you want to do.
Capital gains is the first issue. Okay.
Lots of questions on that lately.
So now his proposal is over $1 million earner. So if you've got over $1 million of income, your capital gains will go from 20% to 39.6%. There is some other potential for it to go even a little bit higher than the 39.6.
It's $1 million in capital gains.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were saying income.
Well, your income can basically be added to that. Yeah.
But if you're doing $1 million, it says here.
Households making over $1 million. Biden has proposed hiking the tax rate on capital gains for households making over $1 million. So if you're making over $1 million
of capital gains,
it's
very rare. But yes.
So that's the thought, right? Is okay. This is extremely rare. That being said, and every real estate professional probably already knows this. If you own your home, so if you're a homeowner and you own your home, you have a capital gain tax exemption when you sell your primary residence.
Right.
So if you're living in your home and you're married, your exemption is up to $500,000. If you're single, it's $250,000. Okay, so that means if you buy a house for $100,000 and you sell it for $350,000, and you're single, then that whole entire $250,000 of gain, you do not pay capital gain taxes on it. So it's tax-free money basically. If you're married and you sell it and you make a profit of $700,000, well, $200,000 of that would be hit on the capital gain, but the other $500,000 of your gain would be protected. Okay. And this is just on gains, right? Like your mortgage is out, what you paid for is subtracted, all that. Everybody knows that.
Well,
so
we assume.
Well, if you're watching this show, we know you know it because you're one of the higher educated real estate professionals.
Look at you guys. Congratulations.
Yes,
We're giving out awards today.
So here's where this could, so to your point, well, that's going to be very rare. And that's the thought here is,
well, they're saying that. I'm just quoting.
Yeah. Biden wants to tax the rich. He's been, he ran on that, right? He got into office on that. So the thought is that's going to impact so few people, but there are people like the senior economist at Realtor.com who says the current proposal to increase the capital gains tax may impact a broader segment of Americans than initially anticipated. Initial anticipation is what you just said. Few people will be impacted. maybe not the case. A lot of people have had huge gains on their real estate. If you bought,
well, they're talking specifically in this article about baby boomers too, because again, a lot of baby boomers have been holding on to their homes now for
in the Northeast, we know
at least 30, 40 years.
It takes people 15 or more years on average to move, right? So if you've been, to your point, 30 years, 40 years holding onto this home, and you bought it, I don't know, 35 years ago for $72,000, or probably less if it was that long ago, and now the home is worth $750,000, it impacts more people potentially because of the way prices are continuing to rise. Okay. But I would say, generally speaking, I would lean more towards this isn't going to impact a huge portion of the population. Certainly capital gains doubling up 20% to basically 40%, could lead to other issues, right? Mm-hmm. But we're not going to get into that. I
think again, and I don't know if you're going to touch on it now, so I might be jumping here, but I think where the biggest concern is the heirs. So like if your parents pass, like what are your implications there? Because again, it also talks about Biden wanting to end the step up too, which again, that's a whole nother issue. I don't see it in your notes there, but again, I think where you'll probably see the most is like, again, if your parent dies and now you're inheriting. Yeah.
All right. So capital gains, issue number one. Issue number two, this is the bigger issue to me that's going to have huge impacts on the real estate industry. Huge impacts. Here's what it is. 1031 tax exchange. So right now, a 1031 tax exchange for investors is this. If you've got rental real estate and you're going to trade up into similar they call it real estate. Yep. You're going to trade up. So you've got a 4-family. And now you're going to sell that and you're going to go buy an 8 unit property, right? And so you're selling the 4 unit at $500,000 and you're buying the 8 unit at $1 million. So it's a greater value. You're trading up. That $500,000 that you're now selling and realizing a gain on the 4, well, you're basically pushing that right into a new investment in a certain period of time, right? And you pay no taxes on that trade. 1031 tax exchange. You're moving it into another investment. Right. And so investors will do this. They'll just keep climbing the ladder and avoid taxes forever. Right? They could pass down into their trust into their kids and not pay the taxes.
I will say though too that I've seen this multiple times. Again, just Bobby and Sue, a parent passes, they're now getting this money, and instead of them having to pay the capital, they're moving it into something else, and they're actually now able to get into the real estate game. They're now able. So again, and we use the word investor. Everyone thinks like these.
Great point. Everyone thinks, these people with all the money.
Yeah, right. They have all, but it's not.
Nicole, around 84% of properties involved in 1031 tax exchanges were owned by small investors. That's according to data from the National Association of Realtors. So 84% of people utilizing this tax benefit, this 1031 tax exchange benefit, were small investors, people trying to build wealth in America, people trying to get ahead through real estate. Here's what happens. So
probably
here's
to pay off their credit card debt or their college debt. I mean, jeepers creepers. Anyway.
So we know what the 1031 tax exchange is currently and has been in the past, and it's helped
because they watch the show. They know.
Well, no, we just explained it.
I'm just saying
seconds ago.
No, I'm just saying though they're educated
But now you know if you didn't know. So here's the deal. This has helped a lot of people build wealth that would have not had the opportunity any other way. Real estate has been the biggest wealth builder for everyday Americans. Go back in history and fact check me on that one. Here's the change that President Joe Biden is proposing. He wants to eliminate the 1031 tax exchange on anything greater than $500,000. Okay, so. And this is not in the article, which we're going to link up Market Watch, which is article, which just explains it. You can Google, like I was reading Wall Street Journal, but not everybody pays for that. So Market Watch, anybody can get access to that. You can Google Joe Biden tax exchange. You'll see a number.
There's plenty of things you can read.
Articles on this.
Everywhere.
We'll link up the one we're referring to, Market Watch. But this is my opinion here. Okay.
I'm loving it.
So what this will do is investors now who are holding on to their properties, that are thinking about putting a property on the market, a rental property, which could be a 2-unit, a single family home.
I have a single family one.
Investment property that is a rental property. Instead of putting that onto the market, and this is going to be something you've got to think about as an investment property, instead of putting that onto the market in a situation right now where we need inventory. Most investors are going to say, yeah, no, I'm just going to keep that and I'll just keep renting it out. I'm not going to go pay capital gains on this now. I'm not going to, I can't do a 1031 tax exchange. I'll just keep it and keep the rental income, right? And you know what I'll do? I'll just refinance the property when the debt's paid down and take the tax-free refi money, and I'll keep the property. I will not offer it out to someone else who maybe wants to buy their first home or who wants to get into real estate investing, who wants to start their journey, which if we keep the inventory down, we know the prices keep going up. So that's one part of it. You'll see less properties go on the market. The other part is if they're going to make this rule where it's a $500,000 limit, some investors are going to say, you know what? I'm going to just start buying single family homes and renting those out. Why am I going to go buy a 40-unit complex, which is way up in the millions, way over 500,000. I'll go buy $500,000 single family homes, rent those out so that when I do want to liquidate once a year,
you're not hitting that $500,000 mark.
I can sell these off for $490, do my tax exchange, buy another one. So I could liquidate one a year if I wanted to.
Yep.
Which does what? Creates more competition in a low inventory single family housing market.
Right. Yeah.
So these are terrible plan proposals, in my opinion, for the real estate industry. Okay, that's where I'm coming from. What do you think? Do you like these plans? Are you for these plans?
Well, to be quite honest, no, I'm not. I mean, obviously, anything that hits the real estate market, I feel like is just always so unfair. I feel like they're always coming after us first. I guess I understand it. It just doesn't.
I don't understand it actually, but
obviously you need to take money from somewhere. There's things that he needs to pay for, and so in that regard, I understand why he's coming here, because look at all this money he could get. I mean,
here's the only thing, and again, this is not political. This is just we need to be educated on this for our consumers, because they're going to ask questions. Investors and homeowners alike are both going to have questions on this. We need to be educated and be able to help them. Ivy Zellman says it all. I said it at the top of the show.
You did. You say her name a lot.
She says, if you're not educated on this kind of stuff and you were coming to present to my home and I ask you questions on this, I'd throw you out of my house.
Well, again, especially now when there are so many people that are maybe selling their second home, or I can't tell you how many people I've been sitting down with that are doing that. Right. Or if people are, you're unfortunately, like, our parents are going to be passing away. Like, what does that all mean for?
Now, I'll throw this out there because there's still uncertainty. Again, these are proposals. These haven't happened. So there's still uncertainty as if this gets passed, they push this through. Is this going to impact 2021, or does this start in 2022? So if it's going to start in 2022, let's play Fantasyland, that scenario. Then right now, as real estate professionals, we've got an opportunity to say to investors like, hey, sell it now.
Do we need to do
during the current plan?
Yeah.
Do it now. Make your move, which would create some more inventory. So maybe Biden's playing chess, not checkers. It seems shocking, but it might be the case here. You never know. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe he's thinking that'll create more inventory, or
you think he's trying to create inventory for us?
I'm just saying. Maybe he's playing chess. I don't know. Or maybe because you've got these big institutional banks, these big institutions that have bought up single family homes when they were so cheap in 2009, and it's like, why haven't they come? I said this to Tom Ferry the other day.
Fannie Mae's already happened in there too by only wanting to take 7% too of investment property. So it's all happening.
I said to TF, I said, why don't you think these big institutions haven't, started to liquidate some of these properties they bought in 2009 and 10? He's like, think about the return, the guaranteed return they have on their balance sheet. You think right now, single family homes are
cash out.
There's no inventory. You would go and put those on the market and you'd sell them.
But if you're making money,
but they're holding on to them,
right?
Maybe Biden's saying, let's put the pressure on these institutions that are holding all these single families to put them on the market now, because this is going to start in 2022. I don't know.
I can't imagine that's really what his theory is. But
that'd be kind of brilliant for this year. Then we'd have long-term impacts. Anyways, I don't love the plans. I don't like the plans at all. It hurts the small investor. Remember, 84% of properties in the 1031 tax exchange are small investors. People, Americans trying to build wealth in real estate, trying to start from the bottom.
Or trying to just make their family's future better. Absolutely.
So that's a total racket, but we'll see where it goes. We've got to stay educated on it. We'll keep bringing you the information as we hear more.